So most of the time, and in fact 98% of the time in your calculus in high school, you'll be using short methods of differentiation. So you need to know the first principle method and you need to be able to calculate it. However, this is what you're going to be doing essentially most of the time. So if y equals kx to the n, so k is a constant, n is a constant. For instance, something like y equals 6x cubed. So the x is the variable here. This is what we're differentiating. Then dy dx, or another way of saying it is this. So we replace the y here with the y up here. So you'll often see d dx of the actual function. That's another way of saying dy dx. Equals, you leave the constant there. So we leave the 6 where it is. Nothing happens to that 6 in terms of the differentiation. It just simply stays there and gets multiplied by the first derivative. The n, the indice, is swung to the front. You rewrite the x down and you reduce the n by 1. Okay, so in this case over here, y dash. So I leave the 6 there and I swing the 3 to the front. So I'm timesing 3 by 6. So if I write it the long way, it's 6 times and then the derivative 3x, and I reduce that index by 1. Okay, but really we multiply it straight away, so it's 18x squared. If I just siphon that off there. So let's do another one. Y equals 5x to the 4th. You can tell me what you think this is. Hopefully you times the 4 by the 5 to get 20x, and you reduce that by 1. 20x cubed is the second derivative there. We'll do some more examples in a minute. Just on the notation here, you need to be able to recognise these when they're given in questions. So you'll see most of these, you'll see all of these. So the function could be given as a y, and the derivative, the first derivative is y dash, and the second derivative, which we're doing later this term, is y double dash. Similarly, it could be y dot, y double dot. That's used in velocity and acceleration ordinarily in physics. You might see it there. Then we've got f of x, f dash x, and f double dash to indicate the first and second derivative. But the main one you're going to see, the main one you're going to see, and the most formal one, is given as y. The first derivative is dy dx, which we've been looking at in the first principles, and the second derivative is d squared y over dx squared. So you need to write those down and make sure, please, that you can recognise them as the function or one of the derivatives.